Okay, that class took forever to load, but I'm here now. Welcome to Verbling. Hi there. I'm teacher Oakley. And for the next hour, well, we're going to be practicing our English, talking about abstract concepts, maybe giving some examples and definitely expressing our opinions. Our subject, our topic is collectivism versus individualism. Heavy, man, heavy. Okay, so be prepared to practice your English, giving opinions about these things. Okay, let me welcome you guys to the class. First of all, little mic check. Hi, Max. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Hello again.
How are you?
Still okay. Still okay. That's good. And hello, Alexander.
Hello again.
Hello again. Welcome to the class. And Heidi's with us again. Hello, Heidi.
Hello.
Nice to see you again. And Carlos has also joined us. Hello, Carlos.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi again.
Okay, guys, we get a kind of a heavy, abstract topic to deal with today. Let's start out by, I guess, trying to define our terms. To some degree, now, okay, you guys are going to share your opinions, and there are no wrong opinions here, okay? They're just opinions. Even to the very definitions of the words themselves, a little bit, we're talking semantics here. What you understand it to be and what somebody else may understand it to be, maybe slightly different, maybe not. Let's start out defining our terms. Max, for you, what are we talking about? What is, in your mind, what is collectivism?
It's like a group of people have one it has one goal, and they together try to do this, to achieve this goal, maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Together. I think together.
Together.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Here. All right. Actually, together. Here's an expression that we sometimes use in English when we're trying to define something or clarify information. We may use this phrase. Together, we may even do this with our fingers. Together being the operative word. We often use this with yet.
Okay.
I have not done something yet. Yet being the operative word, meaning I will soon. Together being the operative word when defining collectivism. Okay, it's a good way to express this idea that this is the key word. It's the way we say this is the key word. Okay. All right. All right. That works for me. I get your meaning. Dictionary definition: the practice or principle of giving a group priority over each individual in it. It's straight from the dictionary. Okay, let me actually share that with you in the chat box. Okay, so very close, pretty much what Max said. That's great. As opposed to individualism, Alexander, in your thinking, how could we define individualism?
Individualism, it's it's about one person. Like I don't know how to say. Individualism. It's about one person. I really don't know how to explain. Oops, something wrong, I guess.
Hello?
Something has come up.
Yeah. Oops. My bad. I had a wrong click there. Oops.
Oops.
Oopsie.
Oops being the operative word.
Being the operative word. Excellent. Oh, yes, we've learned something today. Excellent. Very good. Oops being the operative word. Sorry about that. I clicked the wrong button. It's Monday morning, and I'm just not really up to speed. Alexander, I'm sorry about
No problem.
vanishing when you were
It happens.
in the middle of your description. Okay, in the middle of your answer. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Okay, well, the dictionary that I have, anyway, that I'm looking at, defines it in two ways. The habit or principle of being independent and self-reliant as an individual, perhaps to the point of being self-centered, or to a social theory, the more broad theory, favoring freedom of action for individuals or over collective or state control. We're going to talk about state and society, but okay, we've defined our terms. Let's talk about us as individuals. Heidi, would you consider yourself to be more of an individualist or a collectivist?
Individualist.
Yeah, I believe you, but why do you say that?
Very similar to egoist, but not egoist.
Yeah.
Yeah, even I appreciate other each one. Not only myself, but I appreciate your opinion or other opinion. So it's not egoist.
I think egoist is on the extreme end of the spectrum. I think I don't. Well, what do you think? This is just my opinion. I don't think to be an individualist means you have to be an egoist. Egotist. I don't think that's.
I think quite close.
Yeah. I don't think. I mean, really, if you want to go to the extreme end of the spectrum, then really, you could say an extreme individualist is a sociopath or even a psychopath. A sociopath has absolutely no feeling for the collective, could care less about the collective, and a psychopath doesn't even care about another individual's feelings or pain or any. I guess that's the extreme end of the very extreme end of the perspective, and I'm reasonably sure that you're not a psychopath. I think that would be raw. That's crazy. Okay, Max, how about yourself? Talking about yourself, would you describe yourself as more of an individualist or a collectivist?
I think I'm more individualist. Yeah, I'd sooner say I'm.
Okay.
Because I have some kind of, I don't know how to say that, back habit. No bad habits. I hate to ask around for help. Really. Yeah.
I know what you mean. Okay, you prefer to be self-reliant. Use another word.
Self-reliance. What do you think about selfishness? It's like one side of, or not?
Are they two sides of the same coin? Is that
Yeah.
the idiom that you're searching for? Yeah, well, yeah, I do. Yeah, okay. I mean, you mentioned that you prefer to be independent or self-reliant. Actually bothers you to rely on help from others. I can completely understand your feelings there. I can relate. I can relate to that idea. I feel the same way often myself.
Interesting.
But is that, how does that relate to selfishness? Wanting things only for yourself, or to,
Yeah, I think it doesn't relate to selfishness.
well,
I
are
hope.
they? I don't know. I don't know. That's a very good question, an excellent question, in fact. Uh, are they two sides of the same coin? Is being self-reliant, does that mean you're selfish or not necessarily? Or are selfish people usually self-reliant?
I don't know.
I don't know either. It's an interesting question to think about. I don't really have the answer. Oh, I wish Alexander, come on back. I'd like to talk to you about this. Okay, well, let's, okay, both of you guys describe yourself as more individualists, and I probably do as well. I wish somebody who considered themselves a collectivist would join us so that we could so we could have a more lively debate, not just agree with each other. Let's talk about our culture. Let's go from the individual to our cultures. Me being an American, Japanese, Russian, and then we're going to talk about the world and the general ideas. But let's move into our cultures that we're mostly familiar with. So, Heidi, in Japan, would you consider Japan to be individualist, collectivist, or some combination? How would you describe it?
Collectivist. Maybe almost all Japanese are collectivist. Because for us, most important thing is a relationship. Like before, the point different is American or European people are like hunter, right? Before.
At one point, for sure.
Japanese, we cultivated the farm, rice farm. Cultivating rice farm, they need to have a lot of people. So neighbors gather in a place to help each other. And next time, my town, so the people gather that place, then they cultivate. So relationship is very important. In the village, someone was hated. We have 80%. It means only funeral and something I forgot. They can help them, but the other things they ignore.
Okay.
We call it mura hachibu. It means village, 80%. So 80% they don't they ignore the person. If the person had a very bad behavior, it's kind of punishment.
Ah, okay. This kind of a societal ostracism.
Yes, yes. So they were afraid of that.
Ah, right. To be ostracized from the society. Of course, nobody likes that. Let's see. How do I spell that word? Ostracize. Okay. If to ostracize is to separate somebody from the society. If you are ostracized, you've been separated, nobody talks to you, they don't associate with you. Or right, okay. I see. That's actually very interesting, because even in a much more you intimated that Western culture tends to be more individualistic. Ooh, there's the It's the
because
adjective.
hunting, about hunting, you can do that by yourself.
But I just want to make a point that even in Western society, a person can be ostracized for thinking differently or having new ideas. It's very common, actually. Just a point. I'm not really making any conclusions about it, but it is interesting. Even though individualism is valued, supposedly, many times individualists are ostracized, even in Western culture. I don't know what that says. I'm not drawing a conclusion, but it's interesting. Okay. Max, what about Russia? Now, of course, Russia has a unique history and a unique recent history. If I talk about the last 100 years or so. Wow. What do you think? Where is Russia on the scale? Collectivism? No, Max has got it. You got to go? Okay. All right, hurry back. Okay. Let me know when you come back. All right. It's got to do some work or something. Okay. Okay. Obviously, well, Heidi, you raise an interesting point about Europeans being more hunter-gatherers, by the way, and there's some more vocabulary. In the past, this is an expression that we use for this type of hunter-gatherer. Hunter-gatherer. It's hard for me to say. Hunter-gatherer society, as opposed to, here's another word, agrarian society, which is agrarian adjective for agriculture, farming.
I'm back. Sorry.
Okay. All right, hang on.
Okay.
Okay, Max. All right, to you. Talk about your country and your culture. Is it more individualistic or collectivistic? And also, I'd really love to hear from you what direction.
Direction.
Is Russia
He's going now.
We all want to know. In fact, the world would like to know the answer to that question, frankly.
Yeah. I'm sure you know this direction. Yeah. But please don't ask me about it.
Well, I know the question. I know what appears, but I don't really know the truth because I'm not there.
Even I'm here, but I don't know true.
Okay, well that's a fair answer right there. That's a good answer.
About
okay.
Russian people, I'd rather describe them like collectivism. Collectivism.
Collectivist is a person.
Okay, collectivist person, because lots of Russian people usually are freeloader.
Are what? Freeloader.
Freeloader, yeah. It's like they want to achieve some kind of goal, but they also want that another person make what need to achieve this goal for them. It's like yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, more and more in the United States, there's a huge battle. Oh, this is basically the crux of the entire United States political debate. To what degree do individuals need to take care of, be responsible for themselves? To what degree does the state have an obligation to care for its citizens?
Yeah.
Constant battle in the United States, really. The whole Obama healthcare issue. So many issues, frankly. Education, paying for education, the internet. There's a huge controversy in the United States about the internet and to what degree it should be controlled by corporations, and to what degree is it a collectivist concept. Let's just take that
Maj-
one concept. Actually, okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Max. Sorry.
Majority, I want to add something. Majority part of my friends just sit on their seats and nothing do. They wait, then our government may do something for them. Government does something for them.
Okay.
It's I don't know. It's very strange for me to wait something. Like in the song, if you remember, Time, which you sent me sometimes.
Yeah.
Wait when
Yeah.
somebody, I forget exactly
Kicking
words
around
from this
on a
piece of a ground. Wait when somebody showed you to your way.
That's it. Kicking around on a piece of ground in your hometown, waiting for someone or something to show you the way. That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Pink Floyd. Oh, Pink Floyd there. Very good. Yeah. Right. I hear you. Okay. All right. They wait for the government to do something. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Recently I was reading an article, and the article actually, it was a scientific article about sociological studies and surveys, questionnaires that they did all throughout the world in different countries to allegedly, anyway. I don't know the validity of these studies, but I was interested, allegedly, to figure out a couple things: collectivism versus individualism, and authoritarianism. How much a society, different countries in this case, bow down to authority, or how much they trust authority, basically. And comparing these ideas, collectivism and individualism, and how much people in the society submit, that's the word, submit to authority. Very interesting. Very interesting study. I wish I could give you a link or something, but anyway, it was very recent. Unfortunately, it was late at night and I didn't save the information. I really should have. I'd have to search for it now. But very, very interesting, because not surprisingly, Russia was very high in both collectivism ideas and collectivist ideas and submission to authority. Extremely high. Out of a scale of 0 to 100, Russia was like 104. Insanely high. Not good. Hey, I'll tell you something. What caught my attention is not only that, but the Philippines, where I currently live, was like 96. Also extremely high. I totally get that. I totally get it. I totally do. A Filipino goes to the doctor, whatever the doctor tells them, they're going to do it. They don't bother. Whereas an American, of course, I'm going to get a second opinion from a doctor, maybe a third opinion. I'm going to research things, and I'm going to question the doctor. I've never seen a Filipino question anything a doctor says. They're afraid of me, doctors. When I go to the doctor in this country, they fear me, because I will tell them if I disagree. I will do research before I visit the doctor, and I will argue with the doctor. I'm an American. I have almost no respect for authority.
Usually Russian doctors don't like when you argue with with their opinion.
Yes, I know that. I actually know
They
that. I
start
haven't.
say something like, "You're a professional. Why are you think like that?" or something like that. Get away
Yeah.
from my cabinet.
And yes, I think doctors is an excellent example. I have another Russian student. I'll tell you, had just had a baby, and I was telling them, oh, how wonderful! You should go attend the birth. You should be there when your child is born in the room. You should see it. It's a miracle. It's amazing. But he told me that he can't because his doctor told me that he shouldn't because he might faint. And I said to him,
Impossible.
well, tell the doctor to go screw himself. You know, you want to be there. It's not up to the doctor, it's up to you. And he said, I can't do that. It's the doctor. He'll tell me that I'm not allowed to use him as a doctor if I try to argue with him. And that blew me away. I'm like, who cares what the doctor is serving you? You're not serving him. In my mind, because I'm an American, so for me that makes no sense at all. And in fact, I went through the same thing when my kids were born. I basically swore at the doctor, said, no, you can't tell me I can't be there. It's my child. Of course I can be there, and I will be there, and I don't care what you say. Tough luck for you. The doctor didn't drop me. I dropped the doctor. I said, forget it. I'll get a new doctor. All right, I don't care. I don't need you. Plenty of people can help babies be born. There is a case in point. The way I handled it, the way my Russian student handled it, completely different. Because of the high degree of submitting to authoritarian rule. Heidi, we're talking about doctors as an example. How about in Japan? Are people extremely respectful of doctors' opinions?
Yeah, before, yeah. But nowadays, they want to get a second opinion or a third opinion.
Okay. So things have evolved in this area somewhat. Opinions have changed. Well, that's interesting.
Japanese people are kind of raised. We can't do say no usually.
Yeah.
Even though in our mind, I think, oh, it's no, but we can't say no. It's very difficult, courageous. If we say yes, it's very good. That was mood in that place, right?
Okay. All right. Right. I see what you're saying.
But recently, we are changing.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's interesting because cultures do change and evolve in this area. Max?
Yeah, I want to share with you some kind of example. My wife usually she doesn't say tell something to doctor, but she doesn't follow direction which said doctor. Something like she doctor brought recipe, something like pillow or don't know, and my wife will give another to my child if it needs.
Okay.
Did you understand?
The doctor will prescribe.
Prescribe?
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Prescription. A prescription. A doctor prescribes a certain medication or a certain a certain whatever technique or action that you're supposed to do, like that.
My wife doesn't argue with the doctor because it's like talking with the wall, talking with the wall. So
like talking.
doesn't change and Talking to the wall, yeah.
Yeah, it's like talking to the wall. They just don't listen. Interesting. Yeah, it's like talking to the wall. Mm-hmm. In any case, yeah, this was an interesting study. Going back to the study, because I can definitely see it in the Philippines how much they, whatever government figures do, whatever crazy stuff they want to do, they decide suddenly they decide they're going to build a housing development right next to the river, or a factory that's going to pollute the river. Nobody says anything about it. Nobody says, wait a minute, you're going to pollute my water, or you're going to destroy wildlife or anything. Never.
For example, before the school teacher find some bad behavior in the student, they called their parent in the school. At that time, parents didn't accept the excuse from their child. Only they believed teachers saying, so apologized. But nowadays, their kids complain about, I didn't do that, like that. Then the parents got angry. They, even though the teacher didn't call the parent, but just parents go to the school to complain about that.
Oh yeah, right. Another good example. Definitely, teachers are authority figures for children, at least. So, okay. Very strongly, Heidi suggests that things are starting to change. Frankly, in America, things are changing the other way, maybe, to become more collective. Obamacare, the healthcare programs, things like that, putting more emphasis on government's obligation to society, immigration laws. I don't know. There's a lot of examples. Nader is with us. Hi, Nader. Hello. Typing again? Yep. Okay. Well, you may have to type a lot. We're dealing with the abstract concepts, individualism and collectivism. Here's one I want you guys' opinion. I want to hear what your opinion is about this, and related to this whole idea of individualism and collectivism, and also submission to authority. In the United States, they are wrestling with the concept with the internet. They're basically, you know, capitalism and individualism are closely related. And in this case, they're debating laws that would basically put the amount of the use of the internet. What they're debating is the idea of having a fast track internet. You pay a lot, and not just individuals. As we already know, you pay more for 10 GB than you do for 5 GB, then 3, and okay, we all know that you pay, supposedly, operative word here, allegedly, supposedly, you pay more and you get more bandwidth and you get a better internet service, supposedly. But in any case, besides that, they're actually talking about the carriers being able to control, if, for example, a website, if I have my own blog site, I'm going to have to pay in order to have this website be available to people who pay a high price for internet service. If you're not willing to pay the price, then you are somewhere in the backwoods of the internet, and your blog site will never be seen. It will be impossible to be found by most people unless they're paying a lot of money. It's a weird thing. So right now, anybody can start a website. You can, I can, anybody can start a website. But they want to make it so that anybody can start a website, but if you want anybody to see it, you'll have to pay. Basically, you'll have to pay the major carriers, internet service providers, in order so that your website can be seen. I don't know if I explained that very well, but the idea kind of being that is the basic idea, my question to you, is the internet a collectivist enterprise? Or should the internet be privy to individual or corporate monitoring? I don't know. Max, the internet, individualist or collectivist?
I think I didn't get your idea, but
Okay.
internet is a good idea.
Yeah.
Internet gave us a lot of opportunities. Yeah.
Okay. The internet is very interesting when it comes to individualism and collectivism. For example, all right, let's approach this by degrees. To what degree should the internet be, well, I can say monitored or regulated, or even even have things removed from the internet or blocked by, for example, the government? Heidi?
Just
What do you,
internet or internet users?
well, that's a good question.
Internet
Oh.
users have both sides. Someone want to hack others, or
Okay.
using the internet, they want to do the bad things to others. But many people want to get some friend, or they want to connect with others.
Mm-hmm. Okay. To what degree should pardon me, sorry. To what degree should governments have the ability to censor? That's the word I couldn't remember. To censor what's available on the internet.
Japanese government censors, but not opinions. We have freedom of expression, so they can't touch about that. But for example, the beheaded recently, Japanese person was beheaded, and another hostage holding the picture. I saw from other side, the dead person doesn't have any head, right?
Yes, really.
But if I look at Japanese site, all pictures are some blood, not clear. We can't see that. Only orange color in the picture.
Okay. Interesting. So they're censoring overtly violent.
Grotesque scene, or before ISIS cut off American journalist head, neck. That time we couldn't see that.
Yeah.
So bloody scene, almost a bloody scene, or too much sexual scene was already cut.
Okay. All right. In some, okay, violence and sex.
Yes.
All right, is censored. Interesting. Nader, to what degree? I'm very curious about Saudi Arabia. To what degree is the internet censored? Very curious. Given the recent loss of the king there, I wonder how much. Okay, do websites sell drugs? Never seen such a thing. Okay, pornography and drugs. All right. are heavily censored. You don't know? No, I didn't know. Apparently, I just don't go shopping for my drugs on the internet. No, I had no idea. Really? I'm actually quite surprised. How do they do that? Wow. Really? Crazy. Well, that's wild. No, I don't know anything about this.
How about the blood? How about the bloody sin?
Are you asking Nader?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Nader, Heidi would like to know, how about basic graphic violence? Okay, that's how we say that in English. Graphic violence. Is that censored? Well, I suppose she's talking about like people being beheaded, for example. Is that allowed on the internet? I don't know why it wouldn't be. No, it's not allowed. Interesting. Okay. It's very interesting. Things are here in where I live in the Philippines. I think you can get anything you want basically on the internet. Television is much more heavily censored, but they're trying here in the Philippines to censor things, especially child pornography and some other things, but they seem to be having difficulty. They're just starting out with their internet control laws, and they're very confused, frankly. So it's very controversial here. They do. Okay, that was my question. They censor a lot of websites in Saudi Arabia. All right, interesting. For different reasons. Political reasons? Sociological? Or political? Or religious reasons? Sex, political, all right. Political sex? Oh, yeah, okay. Interesting. Okay, Max?
In Russia it's very strange because you have so easily find some kind of pornography website, but our government start to censor. How can I use this verb? To block it.
To
block.
censor.
Okay, to censor websites about politics, and websites in our, how can I say that, bloggers from other countries. Some kind of, for example, my wife usually read one blogger from Canada, and one time she tried to open, and it doesn't work anymore. It's I think it's unfair for people. Why?
Well, it's for the collective good, for your own good.
Yeah,
That's
for my
why.
good.
Someone in authority has decided that's what's good for you, collectively, as a society. Here's the problem with collectivism and individualism. Collectivists,
and the Russian,
it's a wonderful idea that people are working together. But the problem is then the person in charge is highly individualistic to the point of being psychopathic and sociopathic. That's the problem with collectivist societies. They tend to be run by a highly individualistic psychopath. Problem.
Also Russian government create new rules. Some kind of, if you are YouTube blogger or something, another blogger, and you have auditory more than 1,000 people, you have to you have to have license, like
Ah,
uh,
okay,
like journalist.
okay. So, all right. So, regulatory laws, regulations. Okay, so new regulatory laws are being implemented. In other words, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Instead of opening up a lot of holy smokes, I know nothing about that. How do they manage to do that without getting caught by the police? Okay, Nader, that's interesting, and I'll have to do some research. I guess I will, but bizarre. That's freaky. I had no idea. Okay, a lot of countries are becoming more and more regulated. China recently, and this has directly affected me actually, as you probably all know, China highly regulates and censors internet for any political. They absolutely eliminate any political or sociological dissension in that country. Not only that, but they try to eliminate or block any outside use. Just recently, over the weekend, this last weekend, as a matter of fact, they've done a some new technology that allows them to block all VPNs. They were VPNs are used in China to reach a server outside the country. That way you can use Facebook or you can use Google. In China, you can't use Google or Facebook unless you go through a VPN. You have to pay for a VPN service. So those who have money could actually have freedom of discussion and ideas. They could make comments or read comments and etc. This weekend, boom, all shut down. Chinese students with Gmail no longer can access Gmail whatsoever. Lots and lots of websites and news services especially totally blocked, and they can no longer use VPNs. Max, I know a lot of Russians who use the Tor technology. Torrents.
Torrents, yeah. A lot
Yeah.
of Russian freeloader.
Freeloader.
And I'm one of them.
Well, it works. It works, and it's highly secure, so it makes it hard for anybody to track what you're doing or in any way regulate what you're doing.
Chinese people used Google, right?
Sorry?
Before, Chinese people used Google before. But Google said the Chinese government tried to censor a lot of things. So Google withdrew from China.
That's right. So, yes, that's absolutely correct. Yeah, the whole VPN thing, though, a lot of them still use, a lot of Chinese small businesses, startup businesses, still use the internet, use VPNs to do transactions, you know, PayPal, and use Gmail for business, things like that, or Hangouts for that matter, where we are right now, to conduct business meetings. But no mas, no more. They just slammed that door pretty tightly just over the weekend. Strangely, I barely saw. I knew this was happening because of getting feedback from my Chinese students. I knew what was going on, but I had to search for an article about it. There's no news about it. It's very odd. Maybe people just assume that this already happens. I don't know. Whatever.
It's like Russia. China, it's a big Russia.
China is a big Russia. Yeah. Well, okay. But then, of course, you know, you have extreme collectivist societies. I don't think there are. Well, let me hear your opinion. Extreme collectivist societies, r.e., North Korea. Hello. You don't do anything for yourself. supposedly. Now, are there any extreme individualistic societies? Opinion. Are there any more? Or were there ever? I don't know.
Yeah, but Chinese people are not a collectivist. They are individualists.
It's hard to say.
Before, my friend, Filipino friend, sent me the YouTube. The girl, very young girl, was on the street. She was already bumped by the car. Then it was very close to the market. Many people are going back and forth. No one tried to help the girl. Then finally, girl was crushed by another car.
That's disgusting, frankly. Well, for me, Heidi, that's extremely collectivist, because collectivists tend to think, as Max was saying, many people sitting on their butt thinking, waiting for somebody else to take care of things, because things will be taken care of for individuals by the group. For me, that's extreme collectivism. Oh, girl lighting in the street, somebody will take care of her.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I will deal with it as an individual, I will take care of this problem.
Mm-hmm. I think they are thinking of only themselves, each one.
See, that's the interesting thing. That's the sort of ironic point about collectivism, is that sometimes in a collectivist society, the only way to get ahead is to be individualistically greedy and selfish. Otherwise, you're going to get exactly what everybody else gets. Which, if that's not enough for you, if you're not okay with that, then maybe that leads towards the idea of being an individualist instead of a creative, unique thinker, instead of being a selfish jerk. It's very ironic. I don't know. It's very strange. Collectivism creates individualism. Individualists move towards collectivism. Where is the... Should there be a middle point? Is that the point? Sure. Okay. So, all right. Nader's concept. We individually we elect someone, and then that person who's elected makes collective decisions. Well, they have to. That's what governments do, whether they want to say that or not. That's the whole point of a government, right? Is to make collectivistic decisions. Again, for the good of the people. Okay. Again, I would reiterate the problem is when you have a collectivist leader, then it works very well. It works great. But when you end up with a very individualistic leader, somebody who creates a cult of personality, you run into problems because they could care less about the society they're representing or making decisions for. Which I think is one of the dangers, in my opinion. I think a collectivist society can work very well with the proper kind of leader, but if you have an highly individualistic person as the leader of a collective, guess what? Okay, 100 for me and 1 for you. 200 for me and 1 for you. 300 for me and 1 for you. But don't worry, everybody gets 1 in the collective. It's just I get, 600. Anyway, that seems to me to be the danger of collectivism. I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, right. There you go. It's interesting that the United States, this is a huge battle ongoing. And I don't know where it will end up. It's very interesting. okay, the Republicans accuse the Democrats of being liberalists, of being, of course, you know, collectivist. Oh, we're going to take the money from the rich and distribute it among all the poor people. That's not fair. And the left-leaning Democrats say, okay, instead you want to concentrate wealth in 1% of the population and give the people nothing. And that's not fair. Where does it end up? Well, it's only time will tell. All right. That's too much of my opinion in this class. We needed more students. Okay, anyway, we're out of time, and I am really hungry. Got to go have my lunch now, so thank you.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you for talking to me. And see you guys again soon. Bye for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Max. Bye for now.